All right, guys, welcome back into another episode of the Show Baseball Podcast presented by Beyond the Monster. I am your host, Andrew Parker. And today's episode, I'm dipping into the Chicago Cubs organization. I have Corey Joyce on today. He's fresh to the Cubs system after coming over from the Tigers. And he's had a good start to the season. He was actually named the Double-A Hitter of the Week a couple weeks back. So we kind of talked to him about his start to the year, obviously changing orgs. It's a pretty big change for him. So we talk about that. We obviously kind of see what he was doing over the offseason a little bit. And then obviously dealing with a very weird injury last year that he missed a lot of time for. So we get into all that. And before I do go any further, whether you're watching me on YouTube right now, listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is that you get your podcast, please like, subscribe, give me a comment on there, anything. It's always appreciated. But without further ado, let me shoot you on over to the interview with Corey Joyce. All right, I am joined by Corey Joyce of the Chicago Cubs organization. That's a little weird to say, obviously, and probably weird for you to hear as well, given that you were with the Tigers for so long. But I do want to start with your start to the season so far. Obviously you had won a Player of the Week award a couple weeks back for your performance that week, and you've had a very good start to the year this year. So how are you feeling? Like what's working for you so far?
Yeah, first of all, it's exciting to be with the Cubs. And this get to call Knoxville my home. It's been it's been great so far. Starting to get my feet wet, playing a lot more, and enjoying the Southern League so far. And yeah, it's nice. I'm starting to catch a groove and my putting at bats together and everything. So feeling more comfortable about the day.
Yeah, you obviously mentioned you're playing in Knoxville right now, and I saw you were from the Carolinas growing up and went to college there. So is that kind of cool to, I guess, be a little closer to home? Maybe if you have friends and family that come by or a spouse or whatever, like, is that like a good perk, I guess, for where you are right now?
Absolutely. I guess Knoxville is probably the closest place that I've played to home. So it's like 4 or 5 hour drive. And a lot of the things inside and outside the city is reminds me of home as well. So definitely feeling right at home.
And so, we had mentioned that, you're just now starting in another organization. You've obviously been with the Tigers for a pretty long time previous to this year. And what kind of challenges did you notice right away? Like obviously going from the Tigers to the Cubs, and obviously you have new teammates, new coaches, new development staff, everything. So what did you kind of notice about moving organizations?
Yeah, I guess it kind of comes at you fast. You kind of sit at home, and next day you got a phone call, and you're heading out, and was lucky enough to be able to go straight to Knoxville through the whole process, and it's just been it's been there's pros and cons to every organization, but within the Cubs, I mean, I have nothing but high praise for them and what they're doing right now, and I'm really excited to be able to play for them and show them what I can do.
So you got drafted all the way back in 2019, which it's forever ago now. But so you've obviously been in quite a few spring trainings. You kind of know your way around, I think, once you get to spring. But this year, obviously, you might have felt like a rookie again because you didn't really know a lot of guys that maybe you knew a few from playing and things like that. But you were kind of like a rookie again, where you just had to learn names again. You had to learn coaches. You had to learn everything. What was that experience like trying to, latch on and just like meet all the new teammates you have and everything this year?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, honestly. Getting to meet new guys and being able to play with new players and get to experience new places and this new ballpark that we have in Knoxville is unbelievable. The clubhouse and everything. I mean, it's a true big league clubhouse, and so being able to meet most of the front office and within the Chicago Cubs organization, and obviously playing with all the new players and everything now. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed it.
And what does so obviously you're changing teams for the first time in your career. When the Cubs reached out to you and when they wanted to sign you, was it one of those things where you had a phone call or your agents had phone calls, whatever, however it took place, and did they like talk to you about things they saw in your game and things that, they're like, hey, we see you do this really well. We think we could tweak something and do something and you could do this or whatever. Like, did you have any talks like that with the Cubs once you signed?
Yeah, I think so. My agent within KHG was back and forth with a couple of different teams, and it was kind of a tough time to get released, being right after spring training. But yeah, I think the Cubs definitely brought up some things that they saw that they really liked. But they also said, there's a couple of things that we think that you could do that we can implement with you to basically make you an even better player. And I was like, I'm sold. Let's do it. So, there wasn't a lot of, negotiating. There was a lot of, you know, uncertainty with me not being able to play, a lot last year within, being, with medical issues and stuff like that. But, I came into spring training. I was, super excited, super healthy, and they were able to see that. And so, yeah, I'm glad that they pulled the trigger, and I think they are too.
Yeah, and that's something you just brought up. Obviously, you missed some time last year with an injury, and you had it's a kind of one of those things where it wasn't really like it's not like you tore your UCL or like tore an ACL or something like that, like in the game. Like it was very very different type of injury. How did you come back from that? And like obviously you're shelved for a little bit, but it's not your arm, it's not your legs, anything like that. It's a very interesting injury. So how did you rebound from that and be able to come back last year, and be able to hit the ground running into this year?
Yeah, it was definitely eye-opening. At the time, it definitely put a lot of things in perspective, uh, especially baseball in general. It's it's been I felt truly grateful to be able to be on the field this year, just to be on the field. And I think that's what I definitely, stress the Cubs, in terms of goal setting for this year. Um, I didn't have any goals because, I just was so happy just to be on the field. And, I want to win. I want to win for those guys and win for this organization. And yeah, it was a lot to go through, but super happy to be through it now and be able to, you know, be on the field again. It's truly a blessing.
Yeah, I did see you are. I think this week you will eclipse the amount of games played you played in last year, and I feel like that's got to be a pretty good, I guess, first goal you would probably have. It's like I obviously want to play in as many games as I did last year. I know it's like a small goal, but I know it's got to be feeling good that you're like, okay, like I'm out here, I'm healthy, I'm feeling good, I'm playing good, and I obviously am going to be playing much longer than I did last year. Did you have like little goals like that? I know you kind of just said you don't really have any, but just kind of like little milestones would be like, okay, like I want to at least like do this, this, and this early in the season.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Just to what last year taught me definitely is to just be able to like handle the ups and downs a lot better. Um, the downs in this game can get really, really tough, and um, just to have that perspective now, it's been truly eye opening. And yeah, like you said, like I just want to stay on the field, be reliable, show them that I can play as many games as I can, and yeah, that's about it.
So obviously, in the minor leagues, everybody has a Monday off day, and I did have a question. What do you do in your free time, like when you do have an off day, or if you're have an afternoon off or whatever?
Yeah, spent a lot of time, with family, with friends as of late. But I do like to game still. I do like to play around the golf when we get, the chance to. Um, and definitely, as of late here in Knoxville, I've just like to you know, explore the area, um, and see, what the city has to offer.
So you said you like the game. What are you playing these days?
Right now, it's a first person shooter, Apex Legends. It's
Okay.
kind of an
Yep.
older game, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm on right now.
Gosh, I haven't heard somebody actually play that in a few years now because I feel like it definitely like got some buzz like a couple years ago, and then it
Yeah,
kind of like died off a little bit. But I knew like a lot of the streamers were playing it, but I haven't really heard anybody playing it in a while. That's interesting.
yeah. It's got a
Okay,
good ranking system, and that's what I like to play is the ranked.
okay. And are you in on MLB The Show at all?
I was. I did have quite a few hours played last year. Not this year though. I'm kind of took a step back from MLB The Show. Um, but it is a top tier game. I do like to.
Well, I was gonna ask, just obviously, you guys can get your real 99s. Have you ever? Did you get it last year, or did
I
you?
did, yeah.
Okay, how
Yeah,
was
it's cool to play with yourself. The ratings can be a little harsh on your actual card because we get actual cards too. But yeah, it's definitely fun to play with the real 99, and you know, it definitely helps the squad out.
Yeah, I'll say the last guest I had on the show, he throws 101. He's in the pirate system, and his card has him throwing 93. His real 99. I'm just like, cool. It's tough. It's really
Yeah, it's
tough.
tough. Yeah.
It's so I understand it's a little weird, but so you said you like to golf as well, which obviously is very popular among pitchers. But I've heard from quite a few position players that they don't like to golf because they think it messes with their swing. Do you believe in any of that?
I think that's just an old tale. Um, that's something that my dad has always told me. I don't feel it within my swing. I can kind of like differentiate the two. But my golf swing is definitely lacking because of my baseball swing. I will say that. Uh, have quite a few hours more on the baseball field and swinging than in golf, but I do like to play. It's definitely just as frustrating as it is, baseball. But yeah, it's nothing better than to just get away with a group of guys in a foursome and be out there. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I do feel like it is way more common among pitchers, but I did have a guy in the Angel system actually tell me, it was Ryan Zefferjon. I remember he had told me that, um, if Mike Trout can play golf every day in spring training, I think any hitter can do it because he's doing it at an elite level, obviously, all the time. So I think it is a myth, but I mean, if some guys, if they think it, I'm not going to argue with them because they're the professional hitters and I'm not. So whatever works for everybody. All right, I
For sure.
got two questions left for you, and I will let you slide. So obviously, we had talked about you and your transition to the Cubs, and obviously, it was a welcome opportunity for yourself. But what has been the biggest thing you've noticed so far between just being in the Cubs organization? I know it's a very short sample size, but just being in that organization compared to the Tigers.
Yeah, I would definitely say that it's just every organization has its better and worse moments. But the Cubs from the get-go, I just feel like that they are a first class organization. Literally, I don't have anything negative to say. With it within the org. I truly think that a lot of the player plan stuff and everything is definitely tailored just to me, and it's definitely it, it encourages me on a on the baseball field, because I know that whatever results may come, my player plan is going to help me within the process of getting to better results. And so um, it's just a lot goes into it. It's been a lot to kind of unravel as far as information and stuff that I've been able to acquire. But yeah, it's definitely a top tier uh, organization. And what better way to start with a new organization than a brand new ballpark in downtown Knoxville. It's truly it's truly something to see if you guys ever get a chance to come out. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I will say Knoxville, obviously University of Tennessee is there, and that place in the fall, man, is incredible. I hope you're not there in the fall, but that place, with Tennessee football games going on, it's lively. It's a good time. So my last question for you, and it has a little bit to do, obviously, what I just kind of preluded to is, you have some time in AAA. You played in Toledo over the last few years, and so you have some AAA experience. And based off of what you've done this year, obviously, it looks like you probably should be in AAA. But I know you're in a new org. I get it, but so for yourself, I always talk to a lot of guys who, are probably right on the brink of promotion or probably deserve to be up there, but it's just a roster thing. And maybe they just like, there's too many bodies, all that. So how does a player, put that aside and just be like, okay, like I have to just make my situation as good as I possibly can. I probably do deserve to be up there, but it's just not happening right now. So how does a player kind of compartmentalize that and just stay in the moment and be successful at the plate like you're doing?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit easier for me to kind of navigate, because I didn't really play a lot last year, and so my goals and my what I'm able to handle, um, is kind of in my hands. And so for me to just kind of focus on being on the field and going through the day to day, and playing playing a lot more, it's kind of been just all on me. I want to figure out what kind of player I can be uh, when I'm on the field all the time. And so that's kind of what my focus is right now. And you'll see it all the time. A lot of orgs will make questionable decisions, and you try to figure out what they're thinking and all, and it's just like it's a never ending road. And so they always have a plan and a process to everything. And so you kind of just have to focus on yourself and developing who you are, and not get caught up in you know what's going on around you. And that's definitely something I've learned over the years. And yeah, you just control what you can control.
Yeah, I always, I think just from like my point of view, it's you try to play GM of any team, and it's just like it'll make you go crazy. I can only imagine sometimes what you guys, the players, like trying to figure out like, okay, like this and this. It's like it's just got to do what you can. It's like with what you're given. So, all
Yeah,
right, Corey, I appreciate the time completely. Obviously, wishing you the best of luck for the rest of 25, and hope to see you up in Iowa soon. But yeah, thank you so much for hopping on.
absolutely, man. I enjoyed it.